Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Deckin Around Community Corner. Today, we are super excited to have Stephanie Prodromou on the show. You may know her as Steph Magic _ from Instagram. If not, make sure to go follow her. But before we jump into it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So Steph, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad.
We are doing good.
Yeah.
We're excited to have you on.
Thank you for having me. This is like my first time doing anything like this. Like I've never really been on a podcast before. So
Yeah.
We're always excited to be, someone's first, and we're really honored that you decided to come on and talk to us today. We really do appreciate you taking the time, especially because, we know with the time zone differences, we're basically covering from like the beginning of the morning to like the late evening at this point. So
yeah,
it works out nicely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have like the three stages. We have me who just woke up. We have you who's kind of in the middle of the day, and then Steph is, dinner time, getting ready to wind down and go to bed.
We just need a fourth person now who's like midnight for them.
Yeah.
So Steph, I know a lot of people who are probably watching this know you for your magic, but I'm curious, what really got you into the magic community in the first place?
Okay, so it's actually a really strange story, but quite cool.
Right.
I was like 11, and I was watching Dynamo's show, Magician Impossible, and there was just a day where I think my brother was in like a room, and he was watching it with my dad, and then I overheard him say like, "Whoa, that's so cool!" Like, so I was like outside the room, and I was like, I don't know, a light bulb moment just went off, and I was just like, oh, what if I could do that, and then make my brother be like that, like for me. Yeah, so usually at that point in that age, I was like taking up a load of things. But like I wasn't really sticking with them. Like I'd do it for like 2 weeks and take it off and be like, nah. But for this, I was just like so determined. I was like, just do it. Just like get some cards and then just learn something and do it. So
that's awesome.
That's what I did, and I went to school. I started performing on my friends, and at first they were like, "Oh, I mean, like, you're annoying," but like, and yeah, I felt like they weren't taking me very seriously because I was like an 11-year-old with like not even a full pack of cards, just going around.
you're like 5 cards, and you're like, pick a card.
Yeah, I literally didn't shuffle. I couldn't do much. I was just like, yeah, it was quite bad. But and then surprisingly, my English teacher at the time he saw me doing it around school, and he took me aside after the lesson, and he was like, "Oh, Steph, I've seen you've been doing like magic around the school, like wait after class." So I did, and he opens his drawer where his desk is, and he's got like all these cards, and I'm just like, what? That's so cool. And he's got books, he's got so much stuff, and he's telling me about his like past, like how he used to do magic, and then eventually he became my form tutor, which is like where you go for registration in the morning.
Cool.
Before school, I'd go there, and he'd like teach me, and then I'd come back like the next week and show him what I'd been working on, and he'd be like, "That's really cool, but like do it again."
That's an amazing story. The fact
that really
that
is.
You had this mentor and kind of in the same place teaching you more than one thing, right? It's
great.
It's pretty rare, and I could see how that could be super inspiring from from your end.
But it was really sad because he left, and I got like super attached to him, like in terms of like just him just being like my teacher for like, it was just great. But yeah, he left, and I think it was then after that I was just like, I have to do this, like I have to be, and I want to make him proud. Like one day like if he sees me on TV, or I don't know, maybe he'll be like, "Oh, I knew that girl. I taught her some magic." And yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe he'll see you on Deckin Around.
You never know.
What's his name? Are you allowed to say his name? Is that cool?
Well, I don't.
So we can give him props for teaching Steph magic.
I mean, he doesn't even know I've done like the Instagram thing. Like because I only started that like last year.
Okay.
He didn't. Yeah, he doesn't. I haven't been in touch with him since he left, which was like 6 years ago. So it will be
Oh,
interesting.
you got to reach out to him.
Yeah, I'll find his. Get in touch with my other teachers from school, see if they have his like email, so I can maybe send him something.
That
Yeah,
would be
just
so cool.
send him a couple videos of a trick, and and that'd be cool.
So and I know you said your original motivation was to get your brother to be like, oh, that's so cool. Did you ever succeed there? Does your brother think it's cool when you do magic now?
If you saw her recent video, you'd say no.
He's not. They're not. I don't really do it much with my family anymore because they're just like oh no, how you did it, like because I got two older brothers. My eldest brother's usually quite like, whoa, oh my gosh, and he like falls off his chair and then I leave him. It's fine, but like then my other brother just like, oh, I saw that, like he'll make me do it again and then he'll be like, yeah, I know what you did, but like
that's too funny.
He's kind of like a heckler. That's what my girlfriend's like. Same exact. I'll do something and she'll be like, yeah, but I know how you did it. Like literally with that face, and I'm like, really? You can't even like pretend that you don't know and tell me if it looked good.
A lot of my friends are like that. Some friends are like, most friends are like, what? How do you do it? But then other people are like, they want to figure it out, and it's like my goal for like magic. Well, I don't know, like that's not what it's all about for me. It's not about like figuring out how you do it. It's just a moment to bring people together, just to like be wowed. It's not really about, oh, like I know how you did it, because then I feel like they make it about them, and it's like, dude, just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel like, oh, go ahead, Ty.
I was gonna say it's funny too because like I think I'm never one who will turn down the opportunity to learn a magic trick once I've seen it, but like half the time I'm just as wowed by how it's done as the production itself.
Yeah.
So like for me, like I don't know, I've probably tricks I've seen and know how they're done, they still blow my mind because I think half of it really is the way a person performs it and the routine and the whole story behind it. Like I love that aspect of it. I think it's so cool. Like you could see someone do a magic trick and they literally don't say a word and they go through the whole routine and like, okay, cool. But like bringing in like a story behind it and drawing in the spectator and building that like bond there, I think is what makes it so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like when I finished uni this year, and we had a break in like April, and that's when the coronavirus like lockdown happened, and we couldn't go out. So, and in that time, I was planning to do some like street magic and go up to London, and do that, but I couldn't. So, I just started doing more videos online, but I really want to get back into that because it's a different kind of feeling when you perform to like act with random people. It's like it's so great. But,
yeah, I mean, I think that's how you get better as well. You get more confident, you get better, and you learn more about your magic. And whether it's angles or just how people respond, you learn how to, I guess. We were talking to Alex Pendray about this a couple weeks ago, and basically you learn how the different ways you can respond to whether it's hecklers or, even how people respond to how you're doing your trick, because everybody's going to respond differently, So I think the more you put in time with strangers, the better you're going to get and more creative as well.
Yeah.
And so how have you found the quarantine? Like, have you tried to figure out ways other than Instagram to really be able to perform for live audiences, or has it really been a lot of just the Instagram creativity there?
Yeah, it's been because I don't know, I've been trying to make my Instagram a bit more entertaining, so you might see like my face on there more as opposed to before when I didn't ever put my face on because I was just really awkward. But I'm kind of trying to make a bit of a comedy show because like you see I do like I'm kind of like I'll do a trick and then be like baffled by my own trick, so my face will be like making all sorts of facial expressions and but I do it on purpose to like just to create a bit of like banter. Like the person's like, oh, like you're just messing with us now. I'm like, I don't know how I do it though. I don't know.
It's so. I don't know how many times I've commented, like,
Yeah.
great trick, Steph, but the face was even better. Like, literally makes. Yeah, you make the funniest faces. It cracks me up.
Cheers. I mean, that was kind of not planned. It just kind of happened naturally. Like I think lockdown it's like an awful thing to have happened, but also I think a side of it has been quite good for me to like just figure out like myself and just like kind of not really care what people think and just put myself out there. So like
Right.
the step to actually like have my face on the camera is actually like, whoa, gosh, yeah, it's pretty mad. But I'm happy I've done it because I figured like if I was actually going to be a magician, which I do want to be, people are going to see my face and not going to see like my hands. It's just like, I've got to have a bit of personality to what I'm bringing to the show. So
Absolutely.
You could wear a nice mask like Marshmallow does.
There you go. Yeah,
you could be the mask. You could be like the masked magician. You could wear some cool little mask.
But yeah, not just like a plain black mask. It's got to be something fun. Like
yeah, exactly.
Like
Something
like
that'll
Daft
make people
Punk or
laugh.
like take a page from like the EDM like guys and like really just go fun with like a giant mask.
wow.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, and like you kind of mentioned previously, you always kept your face off the off of your Instagrams.
Yeah.
Was magic something for you that's kind of helped you build that confidence to finally be like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to put my face out there and see how it goes.
Yeah. Like I don't really know why I didn't before. I was just like really awkward. But then I don't know. I was just like I was looking through my Instagram. I was like, this seems a bit stupid. Like I feel like my face needs to be on it. Like it's just these people are following me. They're not following my legs or like my hands. So I need to like. Yeah, but when I did that, I was like, people really liked it. So I'm gonna keep doing it. So yeah.
Good.
The funny thing is you had all these followers, so they didn't care. Obviously, they were following your skills. That's what they were following.
Which is really nice of them. But I do remember someone commenting saying like, "Why don't you show your face?" And I was like, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I have a face.
Yeah, I know. And then I don't know. I just always kind of put myself down and think like, oh, it's gonna be well awkward. But I just put the camera up on my dresser and was like, oh, don't even look bad. So put it up.
Yeah. Well, I wish we knew. We could have totally blurred you out and and then revealed you.
Well, and I think people, they want to make that connection. The interesting thing about social media is you will get a lot of people who follow you just purely for skill, but there's a whole nother set of people, which I truly believe is probably the majority of people on social media, who want to know the person. And, it's very hard to make that personal connection without a face. It's possible, but it probably is more awkward than showing the face. So
yeah.
Have you now? Go ahead.
No, sorry. No, I think, that has helped. Yeah, I feel like I'm connecting a lot more with people because that's like I want to bring a bit more to like I've been like I don't know, like I put my music stuff on there, which I thought a year ago I was like, nah, I would never do that because it's strictly magic. But it's like I want them to know about my other hobbies and my other passions because it's not all magic, but it's like. I want to show off what I can do with other things. But
absolutely,
I do think it's got a bit better with like connections with people sending me messages and like, oh, that's really nice. Yeah.
Very cool.
I think once, like Tyler said, once you connect with people and let people into the person that you really are and things that you're really passionate about, it allows people to see you for who you are and what you believe in and what drives you and different things like that. And I think, myself included, you don't have to be someone's hero to be inspired by someone, right? And I think, especially now during COVID, we're all in this weird space right now. So when we see people creating, whether it's doing magic, having fun, whether it's, all of a sudden coming out with a music track when maybe someone might have not have known you've done that.
Exactly.
I think that inspires people to say, huh, I could do that.
Yeah.
You know, if that's something they've always wanted to do, you know, maybe they could, you know, be, you know, in a state of depression, or maybe they're, you know, anxious about it, or something like that. And that just inspires them to maybe take that next step and do something they've always wanted to, or been scared about, or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And so you mentioned too that you had posted your new music to the Instagram, to your Instagram. Geez, the Instagram, to your Instagram. Why don't you
Same
tell us a
thing.
little? Why don't you tell us a little bit about your interest in music? Is that something that you've always kind of done, or is it a newer hobby, or which came first? I guess music or magic.
Music came first. So
Okay.
I've been around music ever since I was young. Like I taught myself every instrument. Like, well, not every instrument. That would be crazy. But I do want to do that one day. It was probably I learned guitar, drums, piano, and sing.
Dang.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I just do it. It's quite good. So, yeah. But like, yeah, I started playing guitar when I was like I can't remember what age, but I had a really I didn't have good I had lessons, but they didn't teach me right. So I was just like discovered YouTube. I was like, oh great. So I learned off YouTube, and then over time, you know, you get better at it, and then you kind of adapt it to your own what you want to do with it, and then Bob's your uncle. It's great. Yeah. So and then so I went to uni in 2018, September 2018. It's a music school, and for like songwriting. So, well, my course had like songwriting, performance, production, kind of all of it really.
That's cool.
So yeah, I started like writing songs, and then, but I never really like performed because I was too scared. I remember like being in like getting there. I was like, oh my gosh, all these people are so good. I'm just like, okay. But you know, you do like now looking back, it seems stupid to do that because you can't ever compare yourself to people. Like you're in your own journey, you're in your own path. Like they've got different experiences to you. Why should you like put yourself down? Because you know it seems really dumb to do that, but I did. And at that point, I wasn't actually doing any magic. I kind of gave up magic for like 2 years.
Okay.
I didn't actually enjoy it anymore. I was just like, I didn't feel how I felt about it when I first started. But then going to uni made me like seeing everyone doing music, and I was doing music. I was like, I need to be different. What makes me unique to these people? So I was like, do magic again. So that's where the Instagram account came from. Like I just started like posting videos and doing that consistently. Like I'd come back from like a 5 o'clock lecture, so I'd probably get back at like 7, and then film a video and then stick it on Instagram. And it didn't get many like views or likes, whatever. But the more I did it, the more consistent views were happening, and people were commenting, and it was super like cool because then I was just like, oh, this is something I can bring that's like new to kind of. I don't just do music; I do magic as well, and that's kind of a unique thing to like say. Like you don't really meet a lot of magicians, but yeah.
No, that's really cool. And have you shared with like a lot of your classmates at uni that you do magic as well, or have they kind of stumbled across your Instagram at all or anything like that?
Yeah, but it was strange because I didn't actually tell. Usually, like when I was younger, I just randomly go up to people like in like the supermarket and just
That's awesome.
cashier person. But like had no concept of like anxiety at that point, so I didn't think about it. But now I'm like, oh no, now I'm like, don't do it. But yeah, it was kind of towards the end of so it was maybe like from January to like when lockdown happened, so like March. My lecturers started to get to know that I did do magic because I actually took the step to be like, oh, do you like magic? Like, do you want to see a magic trick?
Nice.
But before, I never like wanted that attention on me. Like, I don't know, I was just like scared. But now I'm like, now I'd do it any day. I'd go there and be like, I'll show you a magic trick. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, you said a second ago about anxiety. Like when you were younger, you weren't aware of what anxiety was, you know, and it's kind of interesting when we're younger, we kind of have no care in the world, no fear. We'll do flips all day, but yeah, try telling Tyler and I to do a flip off a porch, you know, we'll be less likely to do it than a 12-year-old, you know, but, you know, is that something that you struggle with now, or, you know, anxiety or anything like that?
It's been my whole life I've had it. I'm still trying to understand everything now, and like every day is really hard. I don't know. I always just I always find that if something happens in my life, whether it's like people, relationships, or whatever, like that's just irrelevant. I don't need that. But like I'll always come back to my magic and my music and whatever, like sports. I like fitness and running and all of that. Like that's something that I have that no one can ever take away from me. So but yeah, like it's been hard. Like it's stopped me from doing a lot in terms of like just do it. Like I have an idea. I have so many like ideas, but like executing them and just doing it is like so hard. But yeah, I mean at least I'm aware of it, and I'm trying to do the things, you know, to self-help and self-develop to be aware of, you know, it's all right, it's fine, just chill. But yeah.
And
oh god,
I was gonna say, and have you found that like even on that front, I know obviously with the Instagram kind of thing and not posting your face initially, I'm sure that kind of related back to the anxiety as well, but have you found that now that you've gotten a lot of that positive, you know, feedback from the community through your magic and everything, that helps a little bit? I'm sure it doesn't, you know, alleviate it fully, but has that kind of helped spur you in the right direction with that as well?
Yeah, for sure. Like I feel a lot more like I feel like I'm the type of person that will always like I always put myself down, and I don't think I can do things but I did it, and like it was great because now people are messaging me and they really like it, and I don't know why I had such a bad like view on like my face being on camera. I have no clue, but like it's not that anymore. Like it's fine, but yeah, even going to gigs, that was super nerve-wracking. Like I remember doing my first magic gig like a year ago, and just going up to people is so scary to just like, because you don't want to like intrude on their like fun, or I don't know, if they're having a conversation with people, like you don't want to be like annoying, like can I do a magic trick? But yeah, I mean it was a great challenge, but also like I learned a lot about myself in terms of how I perform and like what you shouldn't do. Like yeah, but I mean anxiety is just like a lifelong thing that I think I'll have, but it's learning just to like how to manage it. And
yeah, I'm sure. You know, I've talked to a lot of people, you know, with mental health issues over the past 10 years, and you know, one thing I've learned is the people that are struggling, there's always these outlets that make it a little bit easier, a little more manageable for them, you know, whether it's magic, whether it's music, you know, I mean, obviously music is one of the biggest things that alleviate so many things. It allows you to, you know, pour out those emotions. It allows you to kind of express what's going on in your mind that you normally wouldn't be able to express, you know? So I think it's, you know, something that helps with that. You know, it doesn't, like you said, it's going to be something that maybe you struggle with your whole life, maybe not. You know, you might figure out the best way to manage it. You know, you run, you do music, you do magic, you do all these things that, you know, create a little bit of, you know, I guess, balance for yourself. You know, if you could share something with whoever's listening that is struggling for mental health, or, you know, whether it's anxiety, depression, you know, whatever, you know, what would you say to them to help manage that? I know it's different for everybody, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I think exercise and a healthy diet is by far like one of the best things I've done to like just. It's all about like bringing yourself back to the moment and being present. Because for me, I find myself overthinking about what's going to happen in the future or dwelling on something that happened in the past that I have no control over changing. But yeah, like if I like, it's okay to have a bad day as well. Like, I think quotes really help me. That's why I've been putting them on my story quite a lot. Because you know, if someone sees it and they're having a really bad day, it might just like make them feel like they're not alone. You know, I think sometimes you feel, especially with anxiety, like you feel quite isolated and alone, but you're not alone. Like there's so many people dealing with it, and you just have to take steps to get yourself help if you need it. And talk to people. Like talking is so important. You have to talk to friends, family. If you're struggling, like it's not going to go away if you just like if you suppress your feelings. It's just not going to be a good thing.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, I couldn't say it any better. You know, it's even the little things. You know, Tyler and I will go through stuff. You know, we're involved in so much together. You know, and sometimes he agrees, sometimes I don't. You know, and it might cause some unrest between the two of us, whether I'm feeling bummed out or he's feeling bummed out. And the best thing is to talk about it, express it, and that allows both of us to be on the same level of communication and really get ahead of that, I guess, anxiety. You know, there's a difference between being anxious and having anxiety, but that anxious feeling is very similar, right? And I think it comes in many different situations. So I think talking about it with people and bringing it to their attention makes it a lot easier for both parties, because you may be acting a certain way and the other person may not know why. So they're jumping to conclusions like, oh, she's being such a brat or a jerk or whatever. But what it comes down to is maybe you're just going through an episode and this is how you're dealing with it, But if you bring it to their attention that you're dealing with this, it allows them to receive it differently rather than being so negative about it or something like that,
Yeah.
And will allow them to share if anything is going on for them. Maybe they're struggling from something also that they're nervous to share with you,
Yeah. And I feel like recently, I don't know, sometimes I get like the odd, like really quite mean comments, which is online. I mean, if you put yourself out there, you're always going to get that.
Yeah.
But, it is for me, because like I can have like 20 good comments, but one bad comment, and I'll think about that bad comment and be like, oh gosh, are they right? And I'll question myself, and then I'll be like, no, just block them. Like they don't. It's fine. They do. But I want people to understand. Or, I mean, I don't think I'm going to change the world in this podcast, but I wish people would understand that their words really are powerful. Like, they really you have to think about what you're saying. Like, you don't know what someone else is going through.
100%.
Your words actually tip them over the edge. Like, you don't know. You have no clue. So be kind. Always be kind. That's why I'm trying to post more quotes to just shed a bit of light on, like, because a lot of people are ignorant to like anxiety. They don't really understand mental health, and I think those are the people that really need educating and what to say. Like, I mean, if you don't like a video, why comment in a mean way? Just scroll past it or unfollow the person. Like, why? I don't get it, but I mean, we deal with it, right?
Yeah. Now, do you get comments about like just how you're doing a trick wrong, or like what's the type of comments that you get, if you don't mind me asking?
I just get a few, like with magic. I feel like a lot. If you make a flash or you flash or something, that people will pick up on that, and it's all about looking for a mistake with some people. And obviously, I'm not going to please everyone. I'm not at the top yet. Like, I'm not that good. Like, I'm just all right. But like,
oh, come on, don't be so modest there. What the cool thing is that you can do?
Well,
it's really amazing because Alex Pandrea sent us a video, not Tyler and I, but like followers and stuff, where he showed David Blaine flashing.
oh wow.
He also showed a video where Penn and Teller were flashing.
Mm.
So the best do it. Like it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with not being the greatest. Like this is David Blaine. And everybody in the world who knows anything about magic, or even if you don't know anything about magic, all his other, I guess you can call them stunts that he does or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the greatest, right? And there's a video of him flashing, so it happens and people record it and it was on national television, so maybe some people might not have seen it, but magicians, would have been like, oh my God, that's a blatant flash.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing. And that could be even a comeback. Be like, yeah, you know what? I totally did flash. But the cool thing is I've also seen David Blaine and Penn and Teller flash, and everybody flashes.
Yeah.
I mean, I am trying to make it more like my Instagram. I'm trying to make it so it's not, you don't have to be perfect, like, because I feel like that's a trait in me that is kind of bad sometimes. Like, I want to be perfect. Like what? So I remember doing a video literally for like 5 hours straight because I could not get it right, and I was so frustrated. But then, like, quickly I realized I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for them, and that's not what you should be doing. Like, you should always do it for yourself. And but most comments are it's like you flash. But I mean, in the caption, I'll always be like progression update. So it's like not great, but like I want to show my progression so they understand that it's the process of getting it wrong and then in a few weeks getting it right. It's not just a quick like you do it. It's great, but yeah.
Right.
We've had this discussion too, I think, about properly giving constructive feedback versus negative feedback on the internet. And I think the downside is, I try to believe that people in their heart are genuinely good. And so for the most part, I'll say that, I don't think everyone who, posts a comment that says you flashed is malicious. Yeah. I'll say that maybe 50%, they're just being a jerk, and the other 50% just doesn't know how to properly say, hey, maybe you should try moving your hand this way and it would be a little cleaner or something like that. And, I don't think people, especially on the internet, because it's such a quick response, you're not building those, you're not writing paragraphs to people usually in the comments because no one reads that. And so it's like, was their intention that they were trying to be helpful and just failed? Or was their intention actually to, be rude or trolling or all these things? And it's like, you never know. And I do try and believe that most people are just trying to be, helpful, though there's definitely those comments out there where people are just jerks and you're like, all right, I can't even justify this one. So see you later. But
I think the thing for me is like, I half agree with Tyler, where I think, most people are good people and that they're doing things out of the kindness of their heart. I definitely think there is a way to deliver something. And if someone flashes, you don't have to point it out. Everybody sees it, right? And if you want to say something, private message the person. You don't have to point it out. Thanks, jerk. Like, I don't care if there's some barrier between us or anything like that. Just message me privately. Let me know I flashed. I'd say, oh my God, I totally know. But I wanted to put it out there because I wanted to show that, yeah, I flash sometimes, and if you feel that I could do it better, let me know what you think. And probably most of the time, they're not going to say something because they probably can't tell you how to do it better. You know what I mean? Or you could do what there's this one YouTuber, and I mean, I guess I could say her name's Blair White. I love watching Blair White. Hilarious. But she has like haters that literally comment on her, or she'll run into them in Starbucks and, they'll come up and say, I really don't agree with a lot of the things you say, blah, blah, blah. And then she'll have them on her show. And she's like a huge YouTuber, like over 2 million followers. Like, she's big. So she like brings the haters on her show and has conversation with them. So it's funny, like maybe someone calls you out, and says, oh, you flashed. Be like, will you do a live with me and teach me how to do it?
Yeah, maybe.
And I guarantee you, probably 90% of the time they'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm good," or "I don't do lives," or random thing. And you could say, "I don't do lives either," but I think it'll be really cool to learn live. If you think I can, do it differently, where I can, get better at it, kind of put it in that way, rather than saying, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah.
That way it would be, I mean, honestly, I think it'd be great video as well to do that. And, nobody does that, so I think it'd be cool to just be like, yo, you want to do it live? Let's do it live. And you can show me personally how to do it right on live. And we'll see how they act.
I just I don't really have the time for that. I just block them.
Yeah.
I think actually recently I did comment, and because this person said, how about you actually try and practice or something? It stung me, because I was like, I had a really bad day, and I was just like, oh no. And then I read that, I was like, you're really mean. So
Yeah.
so I think
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
I messaged it, I commented back saying, I think that's a really ignorant kind of comment to make. How do you know what I do when I'm not filming? Like, you can't judge that. That's just really stupid. Now, and I ended it with like, have a nice day, fella, because
No, that's like the word fella. Like when my grandmother used to say that, he's a nice fella. So like when I hear that, it's kind of condescending. It's great. That's a great way to end it.
Yeah, I was really sarcastic, and then I just yeah, I mean, I don't really have the time for people like that. I'll just block them if it gets too bad. But for the majority, most people are very, very nice, and they do give constructive feedback. So yeah, it's good. Or they'll private DM me. So yeah.
That's awesome.
That guy's comment is definitely one that I couldn't put into the whole "he's just trying to help you out" comment there. And you definitely handled that.
That's a good thing about Tyler. When Tyler sees something that goes against what his opinion is, he'll definitely point it out.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, you probably handled that comment a lot better than I would have. So I probably would have gone through all his videos and been like, "Yep, that sucked. How about that there, buddy?"
You go look at their profiles and they're so young, or they don't have they're literally private or whatever. They don't.
Yeah, that's funny. So since we're talking about magic and flashing or whatever, not saying that you're gonna flash, but you mind showing us something?
I can show you something. Oh, camera shy. See this?
Well, don't worry. We won't judge. Yeah.
We're not watching you. Nobody can see you. Just pretend you're performing to yourself.
Can you see this card?
Yep.
I can.
Oh no, it's fine.
Listen, that's still better than my snap change, so that's fine.
No, that's great. So I'm trying to actually learn the isolations.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, my hand's just shaking, so I can't do that at the minute. But,
you want perfect advice about the isolations?
What's that?
Watch Deckin Around this week. We have Anna de Guzman on.
Oh no, really? That's so great. She is my birthday. I didn't even know that. I mean, I knew that last year, but I was like, wow, that's so cool. Yeah.
She's phenomenal with it. The other one who I always get a kick out of, who's really getting into isolations now, is Katie Morris.
Yeah,
Katie's so creative as well. She's phenomenally creative.
Yeah.
So I like that there's this trend towards isolations, because I think they really are so visually appealing. I feel like isolations were big for a while, and then they kind of fell to the background again. They're really getting a lot of momentum behind them again now, because they're just so cool.
They're huge in juggling. In the juggling world, isolations are huge, like fire spinning and all that stuff. Isolations are obviously huge with hula hoops and stuff like that. You can see some intense, trippy stuff when you watch, hula hooping and fire spinning doing isolations. It's crazy.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say, I just like to kind of learn. I didn't really get into cardistry until it's just going on YouTube, and I found isolations. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But predominantly do sleight of hand. That's kind of my thing. But I want to learn cool shuffles and basically stuff like Anna Dustman, like what she does, mad. It's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
really is.
It'll be fun to hear what she has to say, and I think people would enjoy watching it and stuff like that. Now, you, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so you were talking about not to go back, but you were talking about music and how you went to uni for it. And now, did you do everything on your track? For those who don't know, you just released your first song. It's called Circles, and it's on Spotify. We'll link it below. But now, did you do everything for it? Production, all the instruments, obviously songwriting and everything?
I wrote the song. I did a little bit of production, but I had a mate at uni who we helped each other out because it was something like he needed to do something for his module, and then I needed someone to. So it was kind of we're helping each other out. So
Nice.
Yeah, he did he recorded the guitar, and he did the cool ambient sounds that you hear, which I'm like when I first heard it, I was like, ooh. I didn't know what my sound was. I was always like, I just didn't know. I was struggling to find my sound, but I really like O Wonder. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
Oh,
O Wonder.
No.
They're like a duo. They're British duo. They're very cool. I mean, I might send you some of their stuff, but or just look them up on Spotify. But yeah, their production, I really, really like their production. So I try to draw from that, and
Very cool.
So yeah, I wrote the song, and he helped out with mixing and mastering and all that. So yeah,
it sounded amazing. I have it's interesting. I have a lot of friends in the music industry, and the one thing that always blows my mind is when photographing them in the studio, and you hear it so raw and in the beginning stages of it, and then you get the actual mastered track and you hear it and you're like, holy cow, you created this out of what I heard, and I don't think people understand the work that goes into producing one song.
No.
And just adding all the elements of it. There's so many different elements and levels and different things like that. It's pretty crazy to see, what the final stage is in a song.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's so exciting though, because when I was making it, I didn't think I'd actually release it because I thought it would be really bad. But then I heard it again. I was like, oh, it's not bad. So then I took the leap, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put it out because I don't know. I feel well self-conscious of my voice because I don't know if I'm doing anything right. I wouldn't say I'm a great singer, but I don't know. I can hold a tune. But yeah, it's
well, let's be honest. You can sing, but you don't have to be able to sing nowadays to be a musician.
You definitely don't. Auto-tune does miracles.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, I think you are good and your song is great. I think definitely stick with it, and if it's something that creates happiness for you and you enjoy, then just do it for that reason, and don't be afraid to put it out there. Just send it to people and different things, like whether it's is it O Wonder you said?
Yeah, O Wonder.
Yeah, send it to them. Send it to just random people you find that maybe would enjoy your music, even as someone you could collab with. Or do you have a YouTube page where you put your music up there, whether it's covers or?
I do have a YouTube page, but I don't really use it much. I probably use Instagram more, but it's weird because I've put my face. I've decided to put my face on camera for magic, but music's another thing. I don't know. I just make weird faces, and I can't be like I am with magic because it doesn't make sense.
Oh my God! Look at John Mayer. Look at John Mayer. That dude is the ugliest singer on the planet. I mean, he's not the ugliest singer. He sings the ugliest, in the world, and the dude's so rap.
I mean, you kind of just gotta not care. You You just gotta not care. But like I do worry. It's a different kind of like, if you put me in front of a crowd for like magic, I'd be nervous, but I'd be like, chill, I can do it, because like this is sick. But like for music, I'm like, no, oh my gosh, there'll be like delays of me being like, no, don't do it, no, don't do it. But like, it's weird. I think it's come down to, I think that like, I don't know anyone who does magic, and I know so many people who do music. So I don't know, something in my head just like is like, no, don't go anywhere near that. Just chill. Like, yeah.
Like again, there you go. You could just put on a mask, marshmallow head.
I should, yeah.
Maybe not a marshmallow head because that's taken already, but
figure something out for sure.
Yeah, I can do something.
Halloween's coming up. I'm sure there's masks everywhere.
Just don't get a scary mask. That'd be kind of weird. I mean, actually, that'd be kind of cool if you had this really creepy, scary mask, and then you sing all like really pretty and chill. That'd be kind of funny.
That would be cool.
And then you can have this big reveal where you take it off, and everybody be like, "Oh my god!"
So now you mentioned too that fitness is one of your hobbies, but what other kind of hobbies are you into other than magic and music?
I do a bit of art, which I mean I've done quite recently, because I used to do it at school, but then I stopped because like my teacher scared me, because like she kind of said like, oh, she wasn't very nice. Let's just say that. But so I kind of lost my love for my art. And my brother's a graphic. He's a animator, so he does like cool. He's the one who did album art actually from surfing.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might kind of. I'm not like him because he's like so good. I just do it for fun. So but after I do the art, I'll go to him and be like, so is it good? And he's like, and he'll just laugh, and I'm like, that's not funny. Like, why? I'm not as good as you, no. But like, yeah. And then he'll be like, I like what you did there, and then he'll give me tips. But yeah, that's something I like to. I kind of like to do a lot, to be fair, because like I don't like doing nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And there's a lot of them are just really like things that are good for the mind, good for the soul, things that just make people feel good. And I mean, no matter what, art is so subjective, right? You can create something that's a masterpiece, bring it to your brother who you think is great at what he does, and he may think it's terrible.
Yeah.
But you bring it to somebody else who loves what you did, so it's the same thing with cards, with a deck of cards. I've seen so many decks of cards where people are like, "Oh my god, that's so amazing," and I'm like, "What is it?" It looks like a 6-year-old created it, but it's so subjective. I mean, Tyler and I will go through our Kickstarter recaps, and you can watch it. You can watch them on the show, and Tyler will be like, "Oh, I really dig this deck," and I'm in the other frame going,
"Yeah,
like, what are you talking about? That thing is terrible." But it's just all of this stuff is subjective, and yeah.
And that's why ultimately, I think coming to terms with the fact that not everyone's going to like everything you do is so important across any, creative outlet. I mean, we've talked about this, a bunch, I think, on shows that in reality, once you start getting haters, that means you actually are gaining visibility in a positive way.
Yeah.
And, though sometimes it hits you and you're like, oh man, like that person was really a jerk and that bothered me today. At the end of the day, I think the takeaway is like, wow, enough people are seeing this that people actually don't like my stuff sometimes too, because I'm reaching such a wide audience.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's great. Like today I just hit 2K, which is like,
congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's not. I'm not like too intense with all the numbers because that's just silly. But it makes me realize like my hard work that I've put in for the past year, because like I hope it's come across that I do. I mean, I do try hard with what I do, and I love what I do. But now I want to create a bigger community throughout a whole range of different things like mental health and magic and I don't know, other stuff as well, like music and probably a bit of fitness. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, we definitely need to link up. Obviously we talk on on Instagram, but we'll definitely link up after this, and we'll chat a little bit, because I've been working on something that I think you'd really like to be a part of, and it'll be really cool.
Nice.
So now you mentioned too, obviously we've been talking a bit about the fact that you're in uni right now. Are you done with uni, or you have more school planned after this, or where are you kind of at with that?
No, so I've just graduated. I just had results. So I got 2-1, which is like lower than first, which is the highest one. So I got a good grade basically. But,
Nice.
Awesome, congrats.
We're like, she got 2 1s. What the hell is that? What the hell's a 1? A 1 here is terrible.
It's a Bachelor of the Arts music industry practice. So
Nice.
I got qualification for that. So we're supposed to have a graduation in like November, but I don't think that's going to happen because of COVID. So, but yeah. That. So I don't think I'm going to go back into education, because I'm done with it, to be fair. But now it's about magic and getting the magic up and getting the music up. I was actually thinking of teaching magic. I put on my story if people would be interested if I taught it. And most people are saying yeah, but I just got to figure out what the best way to kind of do that. Yeah,
that would be so cool.
Now, do you have obviously being in magic and wanting to teach it, do you have any people in the industry, magicians that have inspired you to be where you are, and move forward with whether it's teaching or doing magic? Who are the inspirations that you kind of follow?
Oh, we've got a lot. Okay, we've got like Dynamo, we've got like Alex Pandria, and 52 Cards, and David Blaine, Anna de Guzman, like so many people that but I've only started to kind of, I only discovered like Alex kind of I think last year, and many others, which I was like, whoa, what is this? Oh, Chris Ramsey as well, like so cool. Like their tutorials are really, really insightful, and I've learned a lot from them. So yeah,
there definitely are people that are better teaching tutorials than others. They just are really good at it. They understand the dynamics of magic rather than just this is the trick. They kind of teach you history of it. They teach you really how to create it to be yours, rather than just learning it and that's the end of it. So I think there's definitely different ways of doing that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you have good people that inspire you. That's cool.
Yeah.
And so now, like you said, you want to get into potentially teaching magic. Where else do you, and I actually think you mentioned earlier too that you would like to just perform magic. Is that really kind of a career goal of yours there, is to continue running with the idea of magic, and whether it be in-person performance and, whether, television performance maybe one day and all that?
Yeah, I was talking to my friend about this yesterday. I was like, I really want to, I want to go on stage and perform, and or have my own TV show. I mean, it's kind of all up in the future, but it could happen. I mean, because I think I had this stage experience when I was younger. Like I performed it in a last year event at my school, and I was so terrified. I'd never done anything like that before, and I had the whole crowd they were so into what I was doing. It was it was great, and I was doing it in front of my whole all my friends, my whole year. It was probably 200 people, plus
nice.
Parents, plus all the teachers. So I was really scared. I was, oh my gosh, I was gonna pass out, but I didn't. And it was great. It was really fun. And then after that, I was just that's something, that feeling I got. I was like, I want that again. I really want to do that.
Nice.
And, so I want to do that for the future.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's always an exciting one too, because I think even the people who perform on stage significantly, kind of circling back a little bit to the anxiety thing too. That's where that, being anxious versus having anxiety, everyone gets anxious when you get up on stage, or a lot of people do. And then learning how to deal with that in general also can help you in throughout other experiences where you learn to, you know, you have anxiety because you try and identify the cause there, and you can say, okay, in this one, like, I'm nervous because I'm going on stage, and you feel your heart beating, and you get through it. At the end of it, you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And like trying to find those kind of moments where you can identify and realize that the outcome wasn't as bad as you thought, or better than you thought, or amazing. You know, it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely excited to see what you come out with next, both on the magic and the music front. So
Heck yeah.
hopefully you start to get a little more comfortable about showing your face in the music, or find an appropriate head covering or mask. So we'll see how it goes.
You'll be okay.
No, that's exciting. Yeah. And is there anything that you want to say to anyone who I think is watching this, who either supports you or is newly coming across your page? Anything that you think they should know, and a good reason why they should follow you?
Well, first of all, thank you for following me. If you do, that's really cool. Stick around, because like I might baffle you, and you might learn something. I try and post a lot about mental health, so it could help you or someone else. And I really just want to have a bit of fun. So like, yeah, just keep following me or
awesome.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, no, and honestly, Steph, thanks so much for coming on. We really do appreciate having you on the show, and kind of just getting to know you a little bit better, dive into some of the stuff that you're into, and talking about how magic has brought you to where you are now. And I think both Steve and I would agree that you have a lot of exciting journey ahead of you still, especially in the magic and the music front. And for anyone who hasn't listened to it yet, definitely check out Steph's song Circles. Like Steve said, we'll link that in the description below. You can find it on Spotify. Who knows, maybe in the near future, we'll see a music video for it.
Maybe.
With her face, maybe. That'd be cool.
And some magic. Bring a collaboration of all the love right there. Yeah. You're working on isolations. You might be able to find some real like cool circular isolations or something.
You can use the circle game deck. It has all circles.
There you go.
Yeah, Steph, thank you so much. I think for those of you who obviously want to hear her song, you can check it out on Spotify, but I think it'll be really cool to, we'll end it here, but we'll actually play the song for you. If you want to check out the song, just stand by, and you'll get to hear it.
Yeah. Before we jump into the song, if you haven't already, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate you all checking out this episode of Community Corner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you.
I'm waiting now, but holding back from the fear. My head is telling me don't go near that, don't give in. And I just hope you know I never meant to be so cold. What do I do to say the words to make you stay? So hard to let you in and see all the parts of me for who I am. Oh, we're going round in circles again now. I'm in my head, but too numb to care. Oh, you left me with this bitterness. I feel so hopeless, but you made your bed. The worst thing is that I can't tell you, we'll just forget like this never happened. I'll be wise and I'll try be happier, be happy for you.